All right, we've all done this before. You're driving down the road and your gas tank is getting low. What do? Most likely, you're going to start to figure out some kind of plan, right? You check your gas gauge, you're going to figure out maybe how many miles you got left, and before you run out of gas, you're going to make sure that you make it to a gas station. And you probably already know how much gas you're going to put in. Maybe you fill up the tank, or maybe you put in $5 or $10. Who knows? The point is, you don't just wait until you run out of gas. You start to figure out how to solve the problem ahead of time. And when it comes to nutrition and eating healthy, most people do the exact opposite. They wait until they are completely out of gas. They're really hungry and they need to eat. And then they try to make a decision last minute about what to eat. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make all the time. So in today's video, I'm going to explain to you why waiting until you're hungry is probably one of the worst things that you can do. And I'm going to give you a little strategy on how to fix it.
Now, the problem with waiting until you feel hungry before you eat is that most people think that hunger signal is like the low fuel light, when in reality, it's more like the check engine light that's telling you something is already going wrong. I mean, in other words, you're in the hangry zone, and you know what I'm talking about. When it gets harder to concentrate, when Becky from accounting just really gets under your skin. And at this point, forget about making any decisions that's going to be healthy for you, because right now, you're just trying to solve an energy crisis. And you're going to grab things that are closest to you, right? You're going to grab sodas or candy. Maybe somebody's going to make a Starbucks run, or your car magically drives itself to Taco Bell. Now, this is why timing matters so much, because one of the easiest ways to start improving and controlling your nutrition is eating on a schedule. And when you're first learning how to do this, it's going to mean eating at times where you're not exactly particularly hungry. And I know that sounds strange, but think back to our fuel tank analogy, right? You don't want to wait until you're completely empty and it's a problem. You want to refuel before it becomes a problem. And the same thing applies to your body when it comes to nutrition. And for a lot of people, this means eating 3 or maybe even 4 times a day. I know myself personally, I like to eat 5 times a day. My meals are a little bit smaller than what you would consider an average size meal, but this means that I digest it easier, my energy is more consistent, and I can stay on track easier. And oftentimes when people are starting to eat on a schedule, one of the most frequent things that I see them get wrong is not eating because they don't feel hungry. But remember, that's exactly what we're going for. You don't want to be starving when you finally decide to eat. And on the other side, you don't want to be super stuffed, feeling bloated and like you need a food coma, right? Because if you were starving before you started to eat, that means you were probably out of calories a while ago. And if you're super full at the end, then you probably ate too much. What you want is a nice little sweet spot in the middle, a nice little Goldilocks spot, just right. And when you're able to do that, then your energy is going to be more consistent. It's going to be easier to digest those meals. And on top of that, making healthy decisions is going to become a lot easier. Now, here is the missing piece that so many people forget, and that's the fact that you need to have a plan when it comes to your meals. And this is where I see a lot of people fall apart. They know what to eat, they just don't have anything available when it becomes time to eat. So if you're going to eat on a schedule, and you need to have either meals made that you brought from home, or you need to know where to get good meals, at the very least, bring some protein shakes or some meal replacement shakes with you. Because the goal isn't perfection, the goal is having a better option before you get hungry. All right, now I can already hear people in the comments starting to say, but doesn't that take a lot of work? Meh, meh, meh. And yes, it's gonna take a certain level of planning, but here's the payoff. When I'm doing this, I get to eat all day long. Seriously, I'm eating multiple meals throughout the day. And if you're someone that's trying to lose some fat, I'm talking to you right now, because oftentimes when I'm helping people lose body fat, one of the things that I hear them often say is that they feel like they're starving. Well, when you take this system and you apply it, you too can eat multiple times a day. And the trick with it is not And the trick with this is not to eat less often, but make sure that you're eating more of the right types of foods in the right portions. This is going to make sure that your energy levels stay up. You're helping to maintain any muscle that you may already have on your body, and it helps you make those healthier decisions more often because you're not starving all the time. Now, if you are somebody that struggles with food choices and portion sizes, then I have created a special guide just for you. It's going to walk you through some simple protein options as well as other food choices, and it's going to give you some suggestions on portion sizes as well. This way, making meals doesn't have to feel complicated and you can stay on track easier. I'm going to leave that link in the description below. So remember, nutrition is going to get easier when you stop relying on willpower and you start relying on easy systems that work even when you get super busy. This means that you're going to have to plan ahead, bring some meals with you, and make these decisions before you get hungry. And if you're looking for an easy, high protein meal that is simple to make, simple to store, and you can keep in your fridge, check out this video up here that I made about Greek yogurt. And I'm going to show you how I've been using it as an everyday staple to make meal prep super easy and to keep me on track. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.